Akash had never believed in ghosts. At 17, he trusted logic more than anything else. His world was simple and predictable: school bells ringing on time, unfinished homework, laughter with friends, and long cricket matches
Hello.
played under the fading evening sun. Ghost stories to him were nothing more than excuses people used to explain fear. That belief lasted until the night he visited the abandoned factory. It began harmlessly, almost stupidly, as a joke. One evening, Akash and his friends sat on the boundary wall behind their school, watching the sky darken as heavy clouds rolled in. The air smelled of rain and the mood was relaxed, filled with casual laughter. Someone mentioned the old factory at the edge of town, a place everyone knew but quietly avoided. "People say lights still flicker inside," Rohan said, smiling, though his voice carried a hint of uncertainty. "And sometimes you can hear machines running." Akash chuckled, "Probably loose wiring or animals." "Then prove it," another friend said. "Go there tonight, midnight, stay 15 minutes and take a photo." The laughter slowly faded as everyone looked at him. Akash felt a small knot form in his stomach, but pride pushed the feeling aside. "Fine," he said, forcing confidence into his voice. "I'll go." Even as he said it, he noticed Rohan's smile disappear. For a moment, Akash wondered if he had made a mistake, but it was too late to take it back. By midnight, the town was silent. Akash stood before the rusted gates of the factory, questioning his decision for the first time. The building loomed in darkness, its broken windows staring like empty eyes. He checked his phone. 11:58 p.m., 2 minutes to midnight. Taking a deep breath, he pushed the gate open and stepped inside. The air felt heavy. Broken glass crunched beneath his shoes, and every sound echoed too loudly. Using his phone flashlight, he moved cautiously through dusty corridors lined with rusted machines. The deeper he went, the colder it became. 5 minutes passed before he heard the first sound, a metallic clank somewhere behind him. He froze and turned, but saw nothing. "It's just rats," he whispered, trying to calm himself. Then came another sound. A low hum. It started faintly, then grew steady, vibrating through the walls like a machine slowly waking up. Akash frowned. The factory had been abandoned for decades. There shouldn't have been electricity. Curiosity overcame fear, and he followed the sound into a large hall filled with silent machinery. Except one machine wasn't silent. A rusted wheel turned slowly with a painful screech. Akash's hand trembled as he raised his flashlight. "This isn't possible," he murmured. The wheel suddenly stopped. Silence returned instantly. Too instantly. Then he heard footsteps behind him. Not his own. He turned quickly. "Hello?" No answer. The footsteps came again, slow and heavy. At the far end of the hall stood a figure, tall, thin, completely still. Akash's heart pounded as he stared at it. The figure tilted its head slightly, the movement strangely unnatural, like someone trying to imitate human behavior. The corridors twisted endlessly, each one looking identical. His breathing grew louder, mixing with the echo of footsteps following him. The sound never rushed, never slowed, always matching his pace. He turned a corner and stopped abruptly. Dead end.
No,
Panic
it's a dead
flooded him
end!
as silence filled the corridor.
It's getting closer!
Then a whisper came from beside his ear. "You shouldn't have come." Akash shouted and spun around, but no one was there. "I'm leaving," he yelled. A second whisper answered, this time from everywhere at once. "You can't." Lights flickered overhead, machines groaned in the distance, and a deep hum spread through the building. The factory seemed to awaken around him. Then came screams. Faint voices at first, growing louder until dozens of cries filled the air. Voices filled with pain and terror. Akash covered his ears, but the sounds felt as though they came from inside his own mind. The walls seemed to stretch, the floor bending strangely beneath his feet. The factory no longer felt like a building. It felt alive, watching him. He stumbled into another room and stopped. A single chair stood in the center. A man sat on it, or something that had once been a man. His body was twisted unnaturally, his skin pale and tight against bone. His eyes stared directly at Akash. "Help me," the man whispered. Akash hesitated. "I don't know how." The man smiled faintly. "You already did." The figure stood, bones cracking loudly as it moved. Suddenly, its body twisted and reshaped, becoming something unnatural, something wrong. "You came," multiple voices spoke at once. Akash backed away, shaking. "I didn't mean to." "This place remembers," the voices continued. "Every scream, every death. Images flooded his mind, flames spreading through the factory, workers trapped inside locked doors, machines still running as fire consumed everything. They left us, the voices said. They forgot us. Akash realized the truth. The factory hadn't simply closed. A disaster had happened here, and whatever remained of those people had never left. Driven by terror, Akash ran again. This time, the corridor seemed to guide him. Soon he saw the exit gate ahead. He rushed forward and burst outside,
I have to get out of
collapsing
here!
onto the ground under the open night sky.
Almost
Fresh
there!
air filled his lungs as he lay there trembling. Behind him, the factory stood silent and dark, as though nothing had occurred. The next day, his friends laughed when he told them what happened. They assumed he was exaggerating or trying to
Akash,
scare
still
them back.
daydreaming about your
Akash
adventure?
didn't argue.
Yeah, it was
he
just a
knew
dream,
what he had
Akash.
experienced. Some things couldn't be explained.
Get
That
real,
night,
man.
lying in bed, he tried to convince himself it was over. Then he heard it, a faint hum, low and steady. He sat up slowly. The sound wasn't outside. It wasn't in the walls. It was inside his head. A whisper followed,
It's still
soft
here.
and familiar. You shouldn't
Followed
have
me
left.
home.
Akash froze in the darkness, because this time he knew he wasn't alone.